comparison. There'll never be no comparison. You're live on the show. Sit back and have a listen.
All right. LDBC. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Combat Sports Show live. Okay, guys, I did a little bit of, just woke up this morning and just decided to look at some of the events that's going on in Glasgow. And I quickly found out that Lina Lansberg is out, okay? And her replacement is a Brazilian fighter named Amanda Lemos. So now, I'm going to admit to y'all, honestly, never heard of her. So I went, and I've been spending most of my morning, man, watching Amanda Lemos fights. I even saw some fights that's not even on her record, And Amanda Lemos actually said, you know what, I have a lot of fights that I don't get credit for. And some of those fights in Brazil, now, she was fighting on a circuit called Jungle Fight. And I clearly don't like that. I don't even like the name, okay? And you guys probably know why I hate that name. But she's got a lot of underground fights, too, that you don't know about. But I'm going to tell you something. In Brazil, a lot of those fighters that fight underground, they could easily come into the UFC and beat a few people in the top 10. They could. It's just you don't know about them. See, when you fight in Brazil, it's a whole nother different mindset over there. You see, their fights over there in those underground circuits and those little, cheap throat, cutthroat promotional companies, they don't stop them fights until your ass can't move. Like, I watched every single fight that I could find on Amanda Lemos. This girl is violent. Like, she's very, very violent. And, I would have to equate that to how she was raised. Now, well, not how she was raised, but how she grew up. See, Amanda Lemos, I'm discovering she's one of those fighters that I call them the fight to eat fighters. Like, eat to fight or whatever. They have to fight in order to eat. Okay? They have to fight in order to eat. And this girl rough. And I want you to look at this face-off. Leslie Smith is much bigger. Okay, she's bigger. You can definitely see a size discrepancy here. But I've watched this Lemos girl dismantle, and I'm talking about dismantle. Okay, 4 opponents who were much bigger than her. I watched her dismantle them. I'm talking about break them down, make these girls stop fighting. I'm talking about motionless in the center of the octagon. I watched Amanda Lemos do that. And I watched 3 of those fighters. To me, they were much more aggressive than Leslie Smith. I'm talking about crazy. Like those Brazilian fighters over there in those underground circuits, they fight. The true meaning of you fight to the death, it has meaning. Like, they don't stop those fights over there. Unless you can't move, unless you're motionless, that's when they stop the fight. Like, you can be getting beat up. I'm talking about literally beat up and you're trying to defend yourself. If you blocking punches, they still think you can fight. They don't stop the fight until you're no longer moving. And that's what I observed. And I'm sitting here looking like, oh, hell. I think Leslie Smith was better off with Lina Lansberg if you ask me. Because they're putting Leslie in the octagon with this girl. And I got to tell you, this damn girl, she crazy as hell. I want y'all to look at this face-off, man. Look directly at this face-off. When you get some damn body who's standing there looking at you with their hands in their pocket and they jaws are clenched, she feel disrespected. And that girl want to fight right now. I think this girl is going to beat Leslie Smith. I'm not saying Leslie is a pushover. I ain't saying that Leslie is she tough. But I think this girl gonna unleash the beast on her. Because, man, that's what she was doing over in Brazil in them underground fights. She more than ready. And I know somebody gonna say, "Yeah, but Coach, see, some of those fighters were not on the skill of Leslie Smith. They're not on the skill level." Look, man, I'm telling y'all, this is what I know. I know for a fact. Over in Brazil, you can take 10 Brazilian fighters, underground fighters, and make them fight against people in the UFC in the top 15. And I bet you 5 of those fighters will come out victorious, okay? The only fighter, and this is a bantamweight fight. The only fighters who I think they would struggle with, but they would still give them a matchup, they would struggle with Valentina Shevchenko. and they would give her a good matchup. I think the bullet is she's just embedded so much into the fight game. Like, it's been her whole life. And I think they would struggle with Amanda Nunes, who already is Brazilian. I think they would struggle with her. And I think some of them would have a couple of problems with Rocky Pennington. But to me, I don't know. I think that's about it. The rest of them, I think they would go in there and give them a decent fight and could possibly beat a lot of the bantamweights. Like, the Brazilian fighters are no joke, especially the ones in those, like, underground circuits. And, you know, you hear some of the reports, man. You know, they fight in some of those circuits, man. They don't, you know, some of those girls get hurt. A couple of those girls got brain damage. One girl I was reading in one of those underground circuits, man, she got put in a damn coma, man. It's no joke over there. When you got a fight to eat, you do what you got to do. And see, people like Amanda Lemos, they'll take these little fights. They don't care. They go into these fights. Sometimes, you know, Amanda Lemos was like, what, a 20-pound underdog? And the fight's supposed to be at, what, a certain weight class? And, man, nah, you know, you look at some of them damn fighters, and I'm like, nah, ain't no way. Ain't no way she fighting another bantamweight. That's preposterous. But Amanda Lemos came out victorious. And not only is she good, you know, the girl can strike, but she goes in and it's like there's a ferocity, man. That, like, this girl fights with evil intentions. Not saying she evil, but look at this stare down. It's almost like she looking at Leslie Smith like, okay, when I get you into that octagon, I'm a PG-13 channel. I'm going to F you up. And I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it. I can't wait. I want to put hands on you now. I'm just saying. This is somebody I don't think we need to underestimate. Now, am I saying that it's 100%, you know, that she going to beat Leslie Smith? No. Do I think she going to defeat Leslie Smith? Yeah. I think she's going to win. I think she's going to come in and defeat Leslie Smith. This girl been fighting for some time. I mean, she been fighting, man. She been fighting and fighting and fighting. And that's all she been doing is fighting. And you know what? See, over in Brazil, they don't fight twice a year. You know, they fight, you know, 4 and 5 times a year, man. And sometimes they can fight like, what, 3 times in the same month? Some of these fighters, they have a lot of fights. They fight. That's what they do. This girl was ready. When they called her for the fight, she was already ready. That's because she been actively fighting. Well, you know, fighters like Leslie Smith, they don't fight that often. They just don't. I think Amanda Lemos got a huge advantage. I think she do. The fact that she been fighting, and she been fighting against competitors who are brutal. I'm talking about she been fighting against these brutal girls who they don't think about no MMA rules. Shoot, she had one girl that was hitting in the back of the head. One girl kicked in the back of the head. They don't have no rules over there. They don't have them. And when they break them, the referees, they don't enforce the rules. I think Amanda Lemos is going to win this fight. And, you know, I could be wrong, but I think Amanda Lemos is going to win. It's a 3-round fight. I think more so the probability of stoppage is higher than going the distance. That's just my opinion. But we'll see what the Peacemaker does. We'll see what Leslie the Peacemaker Smith does against this Brazilian girl who just seemed like she don't give a damn. And those are the opponents, the ones that's got a fight to eat. Those are the ones that's the most dangerous. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. I'm done. What are you guys waiting on? Subscribe to the best women's MMA platform on YouTube.